Hello FUTWIZ gang, welcome back to another video on the channel today, and it's the moment you have been waiting for. Today we are joined by the FGS1 European champion of the first qualifier, Ethan, FUTWIZ Ethan, and he's going to be showing you today in good detail his 4-3-2-1 tactics, which led him to becoming the champion of Europe in the first qualifier. Now Ethan, welcome in, mate. How we doing, mate?
I'm all good, mate. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm happy. You feeling happy? Have you got over the fact that you wonder what first qualifier now, or is it still a little bit like shocking, like a little bit surprising, or how you feeling?
How is that? To phrase it, it's almost like relief. It's a very good start to the season. Like, it literally could not go any better. It's not just about building on that. Hopefully, just rack up enough points to playoffs now. Just getting there.
Brilliant stuff, brilliant stuff. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through, obviously, the tactics you used, the tactics everyone's been speaking about, the tactics everyone wants to know. Now, let's start it off. Obviously, it's the 4-3-2-1, and that is the formation you start off with. Obviously, later in the video, guys, we will show you a defensive tactic as well, which you use to see out some games, not all, but most. And we're starting it off with, obviously, your defensive side of things and your offensive. Talk to me through your reasoning for having, obviously, like your width, your depth, your chance creation, etc.
Alright, so just first we'll go over just simple, balance, nothing too complicated in both sections. But so the width is 47. Again, personally, I'm not too sure why I've done this, but there was a reason. I think me and FUTWIZ Johnny, our analyst, was going through a lot of people's tactics, see what they were doing. For some reason, 45 to 50 was a number, so we thought we'd stick it smack in the middle. There's 47. But 72 depth is a key one. I think that's something to do with auto offside traps. I've played with a very high line. I played with a very high line during the qualifiers. I think it was sitting in my score lines. I think I could see about 6 goals every game. But it did seem to be really effective because I don't like playing with a deep line. I don't like people having the ball much, like on the edge of my box. So yeah, having sensitive depth is really important to me.
Cool, brilliant stuff. So obviously having a high line is very important. You do concede goals, but at the same time you score a lot of goals. So if you're good at defending, you'll limit the opponent's chances, but going forward, you're going to have so many opportunities. Now, with the offensive build-up, you've got it unbalanced and direct passing. What is your reason for having direct passing and balance?
So, balance is just, if you have fast build-up on, your team flies up the pitch way too quickly. If you get caught with the centre-back and lose the ball, counter, goal, conceded, not good. So, keep that balanced, keep everything stable. Direct passing, however, that's just there because your team just kind of camps on the edge of the opposition's box. So, you've got like your left-back flying forward, your 3 strikers all on the edge of the box, your centre-mid just offering support. So that's just really simple, really. Most pros use start passing.
Cool, width stuff, and obviously the width, the corners, free kicks, players in the box. Go through that briefly. Yeah,
so the width is 47. Again, I just use that to match my defensive width, so my team isn't really changing in defense and attack. Place in the box is 6. I think that's something to do with a centre mid going forward. I think that's the reason for that. So the right centre mid often offers support in the box. Often like sits on the edge, sometimes will go into the box, and then corners and free kicks. With how they are on FIFA 23, you've got to get as many people in there as possible.
Okay, brilliant stuff. Now moving on to actually the bit everyone's been waiting for, the instructions, the little things, the little fine margins which make all the difference when playing at the top level. Now starting it off, obviously I can see that you've actually got an attacking player in the midfield of your 3, which kind of, to me, is the thing which stands out most.
So Ginola for me is honestly like most pivotal player in the qualifier because for some reason he's got really good defending stats, which makes him a really viable centre mid, and the right centre mid is so important in going forward. For if I want to cross one to the box, Gino's there for a flick down. He's actually very good at shooting, 5-star, 5-star, very versatile, just perfect for the position.
Cool, brilliant stuff. And sliding across to the instructions, if we could have a look at that. Let's start with the defence. Let's start with the defence and your reasons for having each set instruction on each set player. Talk to me.
Alright, so for the right back, it's just stay back while attacking. You want to have a kind of like a stable back 3 in this 4-3-2-1. Then Van Dijk and Lucy you don't touch. Nothing changes with centre backs. However, Nuno Mendes, which would have been Theo Hernandez in the qualifiers, but I saw my team for coins for Team Year. The left back is on balanced attack and overlap. So this causes Nuno Mendes, or at the time Theo Hernandez, to sit at left wing. So you've got a massive overload on the left hand side of the pitch, which is very important in this formation.
Cool, brilliant stuff. So your left side is really the more attacking side when it comes to the defensive formation. I do notice something, by the way. Trent has actually got overlap on him, and that might have been something you used as well. Is there any reason for that? He's on stay back overlap, or?
So overlap is used on both fullbacks, not just Trent. It's to keep the boys wide, so you don't want them tucking in too much. You want to keep the width high, because obviously you've got 3 centimetres at left forward and right forward. You don't want your right back and left back coming inside, because there's no need for them to be inside. Keep them boys on the wing.
Brilliant stuff. And obviously, Gravenberch, he's just going to be like the main man who's just kind of sitting in front of the defence, I take it. As I can see, you've got covering centre, stay back while attacking. He's probably the thing which pretty much every single player who plays this formation will probably have on their centre mid, like their middle one, isn't it? Now, talk to me about the left side with Perisic, because obviously with Nuno Mendes being your more attacking fullback, how does Perisic compensate Mendes going forward so much?
So Perisic and Gravenberch was a bit of middle centre mid first, so the middle centre mid has to be the pivot of the team. So during the qualifier, had been Yaya Toure, stay back, cover centre, nothing high, just sit in the middle, play simple passes, just as a job. The left centre mid, however, is also a stay back to try and cover the gap at times for Nuno Mendes going forward. So he kind of like offers him support, and if he gets caught out, the left centre mid can track back. At the time, it would be Marquisio for me. But yeah, stay back and cover centre just like the middle centre mid for stability, really.
Cool, brilliant. And obviously, the important part is the attacking centre mid who you use has to be on the opposite side of the fullback who uses attacking, right? So you never want your attacking centre mid to be Perisic and your attacking fullback to be Mendes, where they're both on the left-hand side, because that will obviously leave you exposed. So your reason for having Ginola on the right centre mid is what?
Is exactly what you just said. If you use the left centre mid going forward and your left back going forward, if you get caught in possession, you're going to counter-attack so quickly. But for me, obviously, the right centre mid was going to make darts inside the box. As you can see in the instruction, I've gone on get into the box and cover wings to defend the 4-4-2. The get into the box is really important because he gets on centre crosses and he offers like an overload. So sometimes I'll have Alawayaman, Mbappe, Jorginho and Ginola in the box. Just a massive overload.
Cool, brilliant stuff. And we're going to move on to our front three. Start off with either side if you want, and talk to us through it.
Right, so the left forward is on comeback on defence, and as you see on the right centre mid, he's on cover wing. This makes him defend in the right mid, and obviously Alawan would defend in the left mid position on the comeback on defence instruction, which is really important for his formation, for it to work.
Cool, brilliant stuff. So he's essentially protecting like your back four as well,
yeah.
And coming in and doing a defensive job. What about Jairzinho? What's the story with him?
So the right forward is actually the most important player in the team. During the qualifier, it was Mbappe, and up front would have been R9. So right forward, he's the most important player with my system. He's on stay central and getting behind. This is completely for counter-attacks. So when we defend the 4-4-2 and we get the ball, we want that ball to go to R9 and Mbappe as soon as possible. So he's on stay central, getting behind, constant runs getting behind. Hopefully get your opponent out, and yeah.
Cool, brilliant stuff. And the main man up front, who for you was R9 in the Pro Qualifier, as everybody knows, and if you don't know, the pros do get loan R9s to use in the qualifiers, which you got through the objectives and stuff, so Ethan was using that. But for the sake of this video, he has got Mbappe in here, and what do you have on him and why?
So for the striker, I don't like anything too extraordinary. Just stay central, no get behind, the false nine, the target man. Just stay central, let him do his thing, sit right in the middle of the box, park yourself there, turn and shoot, simple stuff. Nothing too complicated with him.
Cool, brilliant stuff. And for the 4-3-2-1, if you could give me your 2 pros and your 2 cons of using the formation, what would you say they are? And I'll put you on the spot here. We haven't thought of this, but start off with the 2 pros.
So you've got a massive overload every single time. If you just switch the ball from your right centre back to your left back, more often than not, 9 times out of 10, that pass will free up the extra man on the other side of the pitch. You got a left centre mid, left forward, and a striker. So that's my 1 pro. Another pro, guaranteed to score about 5 goals a game. It's almost impossible to defend.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. And if you was to think of any cons about the formation, what would you say they are? But especially for maybe players who aren't at the pro level who want to try out this formation.
So I think a con would definitely be you're going to concede goals until you've learned the formation, because defending the 4-4-2, you make one mistake with a centre mid, you're missing a man in the middle of the pitch, so you're going to concede goals. And
brilliant stuff.
And
is there any other cons or?
The other con is like what I said earlier. If you lose the ball, your centre back, as I've learnt this weekend in the qualifier, you are going to concede a lot of goals. I lost the ball with Van Dijk and Lucio a fair few times, and every single time I did, I got punished every time. So you got to be careful with your centre backs this formation.
We did see that. But yeah, that is the European Champions 4-3-2-1 custom tactics. Now, we're going to quickly give you a couple of minutes sequel on the defensive formation he does switch to. Should say you get yourself a lead, you don't want to have a bit of a ping pong tennis game, and that is the 5-4-1. Now briefly, Ethan, just quickly fizz through it, not too long, not too in depth, but give us the benefits to using this formation and why you use it.
So this formation I barely used, I'll be honest. This was the proper last 5 minutes of the game formation, so nothing too hard. 45 width, again, just keep the boys a little bit more narrow. 50 depth, so they're not sitting too far back. Direct passing, just going forward, keep the balls on the edge of the box if I do manage to get there. 3 players in the box and then goes forward. 50 width, so it stays very simple. And 1 players in corners and free kicks in the box, because you do not want to score anymore. You want to keep that football.
Brilliant stuff. And any instructions on the players, or is it all just come back.
It's going to be very simple. Just stay back, come back, stay back, come back, and come back. Oh, wait.
It's a very
it should have been come
formation.
back. Yeah, very defensive formation.
Brilliant stuff. Well, look, once again, congratulations on winning the first qualifier, Ethan. Very, very proud of you, mate. Guys, if this did help you out, obviously we tried to do it a little bit different, give you a bit more reasoning why we have certain instructions on certain players, a bit more of an explanation. If it did help you out, let us know in the comments. Hit that subscribe button and also look in the description for the link to Ethan's Twitch channel and Twitter, where you can actually watch his gameplay whenever he goes live in the mix, and you can ask him questions in the chat and he can respond to you in live time as well. But apart from that, we will see you on the next one with a little bit of a recap on how our FGS went with some highlights of the goals.